Welcome to EPG Pathshala. Today I will be discussing about water demand, and the various learning objectives are water as a resource, per capita water demand, global water demand, various factors affecting water demands, consequences of unsustainable water demand, and water demand management. Water is considered as most essential and important resource of our life. It is linked with the well-being of human society. It has multifunctional roles. It is used for industrial activities, agriculture, drinking, hygiene and recreation. It is also used for power generation, conversion and transport. In India, India is blessed with various multi-dimensional extraordinary water bodies which are range from lakes, ponds to different marshes, mangroves and lagoons. A number of factors like climate, culture, food habits, work and working conditions, level and type of development, physiology determine the requirement of water at the global level, and on an annual basis enough fresh water is available to meet such demand. Spatial and temporal variations of water demand and availability are large, leading to water scarcity in several parts of the world during specific times of the year. In terms of per capita water demand is defined as the annual average daily requirement of water of one person. The average daily per capita demand can be written as quantity required in 12 months, that is in liters, divided by 365 days into population. As per the international norms, if per capita water availability is less than 1700 cubic meter per year, then the country is categorized as water stressed. If it is less than 1000 cubic meter per capita per year, then the country is classified as water scarce. In India, per capita surface water availability in the years 1991 and 2001 were 2309 and 1902 cubic meter, and these are projected to reduce to 1401 and 1191 cubic meter by the years 2025 and 2050 respectively. According to the Central Water Commission, the total utilizable water resources of India are 1110 billion cubic meters. If we talk about the various types of water demand can be of various types like domestic water demand, industrial and commercial water demand, demand for public uses, fire demand, water required compensating losses in wastes and thefts. So, in detail, if we discuss all these types, domestic water demand includes water for residential uses like drinking, bathing, cooking, washing, etc. Industrial and commercial water demand includes water needed by various industries, commercial institutions and buildings. Demand for public uses include the amount of water for public utilities but excluding domestic uses. Fire demand, same water used for different fire stoppage activities. and water required compensating losses in wastes and thefts. The World Health Organization specifies 50 liters per person per day as the recommended intermediate quantity needed to maintain health, hygiene, and for all domestic uses. As per the Bureau of Indian Standards, minimum water supply of 200 liters per capita per day should be provided for domestic consumption in cities with full flushing systems. It is also mentioned that the amount of water supply may be reduced to 135 LPCD for the LIG and the economically weaker sections of the society and in case of small towns. According to the 12th five-year plan, the country's water budget based on Ministry of Water Resources estimates shows utilizable water of 1123 billion cubic meters against a current estimated demand of 710 billion cubic meters. The Standing Committee of the Ministry of Water Resources estimates that the water demand will rise to 1093 billion cubic meters by 2025. So, in the present developmental era, the utilization of water has increased many folds in agriculture, industry, and domestic purposes. By 2050, the world's population is expected to grow to 9 billion, and combined with increased wealth and growing urbanization and industrialization worldwide, the demand for water is accelerating dramatically. In terms of water withdrawal, global water demand are projected to increase by 55% by 2050, mainly because of the growing demands from manufacturing for 400%, thermal electricity generation 140%, and domestic use, that is 130%. As a result, fresh water availability will be increasingly strained over this time period, and more than 40% of the global population is projected to be living in areas of severe water stress by 2050. So, the increasing world population, improving living standards, changing consumption patterns, and expansion of irrigated agriculture are the main driving forces for the rising global water demand. Global water demand is largely influenced by population growth, urbanization, food and energy security policies, and macroeconomic processes such as trade globalization, changing diets, and increasing consumption. So, this graph shows the projected water demand as we discussed. So, what are different factors which affecting the water demand? So, some of are population, agriculture and industrial growth, climate change, habits of people and their status, and pressure in the distribution system. Let's discuss all of them. First, if we see increasing populations enhanced per capita water use. Globally, 3.6 billion people live in urban areas, and the next few decades will be the most rapid period of urban growth in human society, with 2.6 billion additional urban dwellers expected by 2050. All these new urban dwellers will need water for different activities. Along with this, the daily supply of drinking water to city population is inadequate, and there is a mismatch between demand and supply. Along with this, the water supply is disrupted regularly in the city because of repairing, burst and joining new pipelines, etc. So the various factors affecting urban water demands can be categorized into three. One is demographic factor, climatic factors and socio-economic factors. Demographic factors includes population, number of connections and average number of people in a house. Climatic factors include rainfall pattern, temperature, scenario and evaporation. Socio-economic factors include household income and water price. If we see, agriculture industry is the largest user of fresh water, as water withdrawal for irrigation accounts for 70% of all water use globally. Irrigated area increased almost 1% per year, and the irrigation water demand will increase by 13.6% by 2025. Continued increase in demand for irrigation water over many years has led to changed water flows, land clearing and therefore deteriorated stream water quality. In India, industry is the second highest consumer of water, and the main sources of water for the industrial sector are groundwater and surface water. Large water consumption relative to water availability results in decreased river flows, mostly during the dry period, and declining lake water and groundwater levels, which are very serious. If we talk about changing climate conditions are expected to aggravate the pressure on water supply systems. According to the IPCC, that is Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change report, in its 2014 assessment, that it is virtually certain that climate change will reduce renewable water resources substantially in most dry subtropical regions, resulting in scarcity of drinking water. Depending on the crop, irrigation requirements were projected to increase by 40 to 250% by the end of the 21st century. All these attributed directly to decrease in growing season water availability, increases in evapotranspiration and changes in crop phenology. So, population growth, increasing urbanization, industrial growth, climate change and deteriorating and insufficient water infrastructure are 5 key macro trends that are simultaneously impacting water supply. So, we need some framework of action to secure adequate water supply. The implementation of integrated management options that include identifying new water sources, increasing the efficiency of existing water supply streams. To secure adequate water supply, the implementation of integrated management options that include identifying new water resources, increasing the efficiency of existing water supply systems and managing water demand is critical. The operational definition of water demand management having 5 important components, and these are: number 1, reducing the quantity or quality of water required to accomplish a specific task. Second, adjusting the nature of the task so it can be accomplished with less water or lower quality water. Third, reducing losses in movements from source through use to disposal. 4, shifting time of use to off-peak periods. And the last one is increasing the ability of the system to operate during droughts. The water demand for everyday domestic uses is met through the use of efficient technologies, effective and equitable tariffs, implementation and enforcement of water use regulation in combination with the development and adoption of water efficient manufacturing processes helps in limiting the water demand for industry, promoting economic development. Moreover, the water supply infrastructures of the public water supply departments are of paramount importance and can be further strengthened. It should be equipped with modern technology. Furthermore, preparedness is necessary to provide bulk quantity of purified water needed especially for the large BPL population of the country is essential to water utilities, both for day-to-day operations and for long-term planning. Another factor has emerged which can be harnessed to reduce urban water use, and this is termed as community intervention programs, and these are primarily related to the employment of water saving measures such as water efficient appliances and rainwater tanks for outdoor water use in homes. These water saving measures are likely to gain increasing importance in managing urban water demand. In this module, we have learned about different types of water demand, what are urban water demands, and different factors which are responsible for water demand. So it is essential in the current scenario that we can conserve or limit the water demand by using different interventions like water demand management, water conservation techniques, and effective use of water. So in all, a participatory and integrated approach must be required in order to counteract the water demand.